Hello there, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to be diving in a bit deeper with one of the people we work with, Josh here. Josh, thank you for being on. Great to chat with you as always.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, amazing. Well, before we kind of dive into the questions, I know we just kind of chatted very briefly about what we're going to be covering today. Can you please just give everyone who's listening or watching a little bit of a background of what you coach on and what that looks like?
Yeah, I meet with couples. I help them discover the best version of their relationship. I help them recenter their relationship on what matters to them most so that they
Mm.
can feel more peaceful, they can feel more connected, feel less lonely.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. And I know obviously we're here to talk about your experience working with us, what your journey's been like, and even kind of growth, everything on that. Before working with us, though, what did your business look like? Where were you at? To kind of give everyone a picture of what that was before we
Yeah.
started together.
So before I started working with TD coaching. I was kind of on my own learning about marketing the hard way, relying on referrals. Referrals are great. They really are. And they do work, but there wasn't a lot of control of the referrals. It's it's kind of like a third degree remove. There's like the people in pain who are in contact with your referral source, and then your referral source has to go to you. And it might not get to me, or by the time it gets to me, I have to close the loop. And it's just, and how do I even know I'm going to get that referral? How are they going to find me? And I still get referrals, and it still helps, but it was, you know, it, things were much slower. I was relying on social media as well. Again, same idea, it works. But with TD coaching, they helped me really discover or really crystallize my business identity. I felt like I had a clear business identity, but it wasn't necessarily clear it was clear on a clinical level. It wasn't clear on a marketing level.
Mm.
And TD coaching helped me kind of align everything so that with marketing, business can kind of just come straight in.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of beforehand, word of mouth referrals, some organic stuff as well. If we were to say kind of like the biggest challenges, roadblocks, barriers, or anything, would you say it's kind of like that client acquisition side of just like things being up and down? Would you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just no predictability with leads.
Yeah. Okay. So that was kind of before we went ahead and started working together. Also, how did you find us? Do you recall exactly where you came from and so
Yeah,
forth?
it was an Instagram ad.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
figured if you guys reeled me in and it worked, you can help me reel other people in.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. So saw us on an Instagram ad, reached out to us. I know that you went ahead and got on a call with Casey, I believe is who it was on that there. And then through that conversation with Casey, and also I believe even we had a little bit of a conversation too. What were kind of the biggest things that made you say, hey, I want to take a leap of faith. I want to work with these people. As I'll add a little prelude before I pass it to you. There's so many people online. Oh, I can help you make this much money and do this and do that and so on and so forth. So, what throughout that process, based on whether it be the Instagram ad or conversations and so forth, made you feel confident that we could actually help you with this?
It's a great question. So I would say there was two things. I had been on calls with other similar type companies, and this one stood out for two reasons. Number one, the process was very clear. It was very concrete. It was almost like mathematical. It wasn't emotional promises. It was mathematical. It was like, this is what we do. This is the outcome we're going to produce. And if the outcome doesn't happen, then we're not going to charge you. We're charging you for an outcome. And you helped me set up my business in a very similar way. Number two, the emotional side of it is Casey did a great job. I immediately felt on the phone with him like he's not trying to pressure me, and he's
Mm.
giving me my space. And other companies were trying to like, okay, bully is a strong word, but like, pin me into a sale type of thing, which
Yeah.
that's not a good feeling. And I don't want to have, they're trying to sell that to me. And does that mean I'm going to do that to other people? Just the whole thing just felt off.
Mm. Yeah.
I felt very much respected for who I am, if that makes sense.
Hmm. For sure. Absolutely. So, thank you for sharing that, first of all. So we went ahead, we talked kind of about like the journey of you beforehand, meeting, why you wanted to move forward with us. It's now been a couple of months. We've worked together. We've helped you in establishing these systems, getting more clear on the offer, when it comes to the positioning on marketing, a couple of the different things that you've covered already. If you were to say the wins slash changes in your business, what would you say are some of those biggest ones that over these last couple of months of us working together actually came into your business?
I mean, the biggest wins are, I guess it's client acquisition, which translates into more money, which also translates into helping more people.
Hmm.
One of the things I love about the coaching business, and for me, I'm in relationship coaching, and I think it's true with anybody who's passionate about whoever they're coaching, is that the money you make is directly correlated with the amount of people that you help. You help more people, you make more money. If you're making more money, that's a indication that you're helping more people, or you're helping people more, or however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
To me, those are the two biggest wins. And the system of clear client acquisition that doesn't take up too much headspace, so you can actually do what you are most passionate about, what I'm most passionate about.
Mhm.
That's also a huge win. The financial win and the ability to help more people, and with the low headspace investment. I don't know if that's the right word. Emotional investment.
Yeah.
There's a clear system where leads are coming in, leads are being responded to. It's all coming into one place. It's being streamlined. There's auto replies, and it's not like I'm being bogged down by being my own administrator.
Hmm. Yeah, good point. And I know a lot of people who maybe watch videos like this, or maybe are even watching now. They're like, okay, well, that's cool. Like, what does that look like? So if you're comfortable with sharing, even for like your own coaching, what are different price points that you go ahead and have for that? And I even know last week was a good week for you on that. What exactly kind of happened last week, and so on and so forth too for you, just for like even
Yeah.
kind of
So
giving them a more tangible.
so you just like more practically, more specifically. Last week, and I'm new to this program. Last week, I brought on two new clients, who are both very excited. I work with couples, so two different couples who are both very excited to get their marriage to a space, that they are looking forward to experiencing.
Hmm.
And that's a financial win as well. And like I
Sure.
said, the financial gain and helping people are directly correlated,
Yeah.
which I think is incredible.
Yeah. I agree. Amazing. Before we go ahead and wrap up, I have two more quick questions for you on it. The first one is going to go ahead and be, what would you say are some of the most valuable things? Obviously, I know you've covered a lot of stuff. We help with client acquisition, so on and so forth. But for someone who, is just looking at this and saying, maybe do I work with them? What would you say are some of the most valuable things about what you've gained by working with us?
So one of the biggest things I've gained was seeing myself a little bit differently.
Hmm.
I used to see myself as, I'm going to charge a client for my time, and I have to prove to them why my time is valuable. And there's only a certain amount, or to a certain degree, that they're going to value my time, which makes sense. Like, they're suffering. Why should I put them? They're in the middle of suffering. They're in pain. Why should my time take up more headspace for them? And
Yeah.
TD coaching helped me reframe, my business existence to, I'm not selling my time. I'm selling a result. I'm selling change. The change, and they helped me clarify how I can clarify to the client the change they are looking for, so I could sell them that change. That's more meaningful to the client, and that has a higher dollar amount than my time. My time is about me. The results are about them.
Absolutely. That's huge. I agree. One last thing, and thank you again. I know that I appreciate it's been awesome working with you guys. I know that you work with Ryan, with Brian, other team members, I know on a day to day, but all the interactions has been great between us. So I appreciate you being
It's been
here,
awesome.
sharing your experience. Last question I do have for you is for somebody who is watching this, considering working with us, especially I'll add one thing of I even touched upon it previously. There's all these people out there that are making so many promises, and it's kind of difficult to decipher. Like, is this a real company? Do they actually care? Will they get me the results? So on and so forth, right? So for that person who's looking at it possibly from that lens, or just someone that's considering working with us, what message would you share with them?
Hop on a call. They'll explain it to you, and you'll see if it makes sense. There wasn't like pressure. It was just, it made sense for me, and it was the logical decision. It made sense mathematically.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Okay. Well, Josh, thank you so much again. It's great to have worked with you over these last couple of months. We are excited to continue working with you, to continue getting more results. Anything else
Yeah.
we want to go ahead and share before we wrap up?
No, it's just been an excellent experience from the start. From uncovering the internal business identity and going through that process of literally lining everything up. I do want to say one other thing. Contrast this to other companies. And there's great marketing companies out there, but some of them will help you run better ads. Some of them will help you have better copy. Some of them will fix your website up. Some of them will help you with scripting or whatever it is. Everybody does. I feel like TD coaching is like holistic. It's like they're going to help everything line up, from the internal identity of what you're trying to accomplish, to how that's perceived on the outside, to how that reflects your dollar amount and value, to the results you're going to produce. Everything is just lined up. So people know exactly what they're getting, and they're willing to pay for that. And you're also able to help more people.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, Josh, thank you once again. Great working with you, and we'll
My
talk real soon.
pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay.